Yo guys, welcome back to another video on our channel, and today we're actually going to be comparing two different guns. We're going to be comparing the CR-56 Amax against the AUG, which are both the best guns in the game right now in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions. If you watch anyone playing this game competitively, they're either using the AUG or they are using the Amax, because they are just the two fastest guns in the game, especially at like distance, like mid to long range. They're the two fastest time to killing guns in the game, and we're going to compare both of them today, see which ones it actually are better and which ones you should be using. But quick before we do jump into the video, if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe and notifications turn on so you don't miss any more videos on the channel. If you do enjoy the video, smash thumbs up, but let me know your thoughts on which gun is better in the comments below. I'll be interested to see what gun you guys prefer. So the way we're going to start this is I'm going to show you both my Amax and my AUG class ups, so you guys can pause it and make it in your game if that's what you want to do. We're then going to run through a couple of the pros and cons of each gun, like which gun you should be using if you're good with a certain type of playstyle against a certain other type of playstyle. And we're also going to go through some of their stats, like the time to kill, like their distance, like their headshot and body shot damage, and all that sort of good stuff as well, so we can actually look at the stats and work out which is best. So we're going to start off with my class ups, go into some stats, and then explain which ones you should use. And while I'm explaining which one you should use and why, we will show you some gameplay of each gun being used, the AUG and the Amax, so you guys can make your own mind up. Okay guys, so as I said, I was going to run through both of the class apps for you guys. Here is my AUG class. This is the gun that I use, the AUG class setup that I do use. Obviously got the nice racer reactive camo on it, which is pretty sick. Very, very sick camo. I love the fact they're putting reactive camos in the game. Makes it a lot more fun. Makes me actually want to buy stuff out of the store. And if you want to see what this class is fully capable of, go check out my recent video. I've got a great gameplay in there. So if you want to check that out, be sure to go and check it out as well. But I run the agency suppressor, the 18.2 inch strike team, the Axial Arm 3 times, the Field Agent foregrip with the 45 round drums. Reason I run the 45 round drums, the 54 round drums take down from your ADS time and your mobility, and then the fast mags really decrease it. So do whatever you do not run fast mags. If you want to run the 45 round drums, go for it. It's not going to affect you that badly. Also, if you're struggling with the recoil on this AUG, maybe try out the SUSAT multi-zoom. It seems to take off a lot of the recoil, so if you want to try that sight out instead of the Axial Arm 3 times, be my guest, try it out for you and see which one works best. But this right here is the AUG class, and the AUG class that we're going to be comparing stats about today. And then when it comes to the Amax, I used the Shadow Realm blueprint, which was a tier 100 thing on the battle pass, I believe it was. But basically I run the monolithic suppressor, the XRK Zodiac S440, the VLK 3 times with the T-pose reticle, just in case anyone's wondering. I run the T-pose reticle on the optic. If you want to know how to get that, all you got to do is come to customize reticle, and that's that one that I use. So if you guys did want to wonder what it was when you're watching some clips, that's the one that I'm using. We also run the Commando foregrip because that controls the recoil the best, and also the 45 round mags. So they're the two guns that we use. If you want to make either of them in your class because you're looking for a best class up, go and do that right now. But I'm going to jump into some of the stats for the guns. Okay, so on screen right now, it might look like there's a lot going on, and there's not really actually that much going on. There's just a couple of adverts on the screen. But basically, what we've got here is on the left-hand side, we've got the Amax stats, which are just down here. And then we have got the AUG stats here, which are just below my face cam, so we can see that. So basically, when we look at the base damage, we've got headshots, chest shots, stomach, and limbs. It's all going to go off of that. So when it comes to the Amax, you'll be doing 56 damage to the head, which means it's going to be between a 2 and a 5 shot kill. When you're doing chest shots, you're going to be doing 42 damage, which is a 3 to a 6 shot kill. When you're doing stomach and limb shots, it's going to be 35 damage and a 3 to 8 shot kill. And then when we come over to the AUG, you're actually going to be doing 72 damage to the head, which is a lot more than what the Amax was. The Amax was at 56 compared to the AUG 72. The Amax, like we said, was a 2 to 5 shot. The AUG is going to be a 2 to 4 shot. When it comes to the chest, we're going to be doing 40 damage as opposed to the Amax is 42. So the Amax is going to be doing more damage at the chest. The Amax was a 3 to 6 shot kill. The AUG is going to be a 3 to 7 shot kill. When it comes to the stomach, and the limbs, like we said, on the Amax, it was going to be 35 being a 3 to 8 shot. And when it comes to the AUG, it's going to be 40 doing a 3 to 7 shot. So overall, the Amax or the AUG does slightly do a little bit more damage, but if you're someone that tries to aim highly and you're hitting a lot of chest shots and sometimes some headshots, the Amax might actually be the better option because it does do more damage than what the AUG does to the chest. So unless you're not banging headshots, you're not going to be doing as much damage as what the Amax would be doing. Therefore, giving the Amax actually a faster time to kill than what the AUG has, because it's got a burst as well, meaning the Amax is actually going to kill people faster than what the AUG does. So these are stock stats, by the way, as well, guys. And the ADS speed on the Amax is 260 milliseconds milliseconds, and on the Amax, or sorry, on the AUG, it's going to be 199 milliseconds, meaning it's going to be a faster ADS time on the AUG, meaning you're going to be able to actually ADS and get them first shots off faster with the AUG, which may actually be the difference between you winning and losing a gunfight, or you getting a kill before someone gets behind cover, whereas you might get that with the AUG, whereas you might not with the Amax. However, if you're hitting chest shots, there's a better chance you might get it with the Amax than you will the AUG. So they're very close in stats as of right now anyway. And then when it comes to the damage per second, on the head for the Amax, it is 579, and on the head for the AUG, it's actually going to be 996 damage per second, which is quite a significant difference. When it comes to the chest shots on the Amax, which is where it bettered at the AUG, it's going to be 434 damage per second, and on the AUG, it's actually going to be 553, meaning the AUG from stock is going to have a better time to kill than the Amax on all parts of the body. The AUG actually gets better than the Amax does, even in rounds per minute, meaning the bullets that it's going to shoot in a minute. The Amax is going to shoot 620, whereas the AUG is actually going to shoot 830. Again, this is from stock guns. However, they've both got 30 round mags, so the AUG still going to get through more bullets. The reload time on the AUG is about 0.1 of a second faster, so you're not even going to really notice that. So basically what we have taken from these stats is statistically from stock weapons, the AUG is going to get a faster time to kill and kill people faster than what the Amax was going to do. However, we are going to be talking about now some situations where you might want to use the Amax over the AUG or the AUG over the Amax and really get into the nitty gritty parts of the actual game itself and show you guys exactly why you might want to use each gun. So like I said, for this part I'm going to show you some clips of the AUG and the Amax both being used so you guys can see how they do play out in game. We're just going to run through a couple of scenarios where I prefer a certain gun over the other. And to start off with, we're going to start off with like mid-range gunfights. Mid-range gunfights, if it's quite in the open, the AUG is probably a better gun than the Amax in my opinion. I just find that it's better in that sort of situation. However, if it's a situation where an enemy is running and they're running towards cover, I seem to get the kill with an Amax, whereas with an AUG, I don't actually seem to pick up the kill. I find there's many times where they manage to get in behind cover before I've got the kill. And when I'm using the AUG, I just think if I was using the Amax in that situation, I know I would have got the kill with it because I'm very confident with the Amax and I'm very good with the Amax. Whereas the AUG, I'm not too brilliant with 3-burst guns. And again, this is something we're going to cover in a moment with whether recoil and 3-burst guns. But I just noticed that there's a lot of times where people, I've also heard a lot of other people saying that when someone's using the AUG, they seem to be losing a lot of kills. People seem to be getting away from them and getting behind cover. Whereas with the Amax, that probably wouldn't be happening. So even though the AUG does have a better time to kill, you've got to take into consideration there is bursts, like there is split seconds between each burst where you're actually not shooting. Whereas with the Amax, you can literally be tracking them and shooting them the entire time. Whereas with the AUG, it's 3 burst, 3 burst, 3 burst, 3 burst, and you've got to have a quick break in between each one of them, meaning it's actually going to slow down the bullets that you're shooting at them in comparison to what it would with the Amax. And then, like I just said about recoil, and the recoil is quite difficult to control on the Amax if you're not good at recoil control. I'll be honest, it is a big thing that people struggle with. But if you can learn to control the recoil with the Amax, in my opinion, it's just way better than the AUG. It's just a better gun than the AUG. It seems to do a lot more damage. It seems to take people out of the game faster. It just seems to genuinely be a better gun if you can learn to control the recoil. However, if you can't learn to control the recoil on the Amax, try the AUG out. You might find that the AUG's really good because it's pretty easy to recenter before you are doing that next burst, and you might find that you are picking up kills nice and easily. So depending again on your sort of situation, the sort of player that you are, I prefer the Amax because I can control the recoil. I play well with it. It's just a beam for me. It's an absolute laser. You'll see it in the clips just how little the gun moves because I can control the recoil. However, you'll also see how good the AUG recoil control is. There's not a lot between the bursts. There's not a lot of recoil at all. It's very easy to recenter and pick that next kill up. So you might want to try that one for yourself. Now, another key factor is mobility, and you guys might be someone that plays a lot more aggressive. You might be pushing into a lot of people, or you might be someone that plays a lot more reserved and sort of just chills out. The mobility on the gun is very similar. I haven't really noticed that I get around the map faster with the AUG or the Amax. They seem to be very similar in terms of their mobility. I run them both with the FFAR, and I sort of use that to get around the map because that's got a little bit more mobility than both of them. However, I haven't really noticed a situation where I thought, oh, maybe if I had the AUG in that situation, or maybe if I had the Amax in that situation, I would have got out of the situation or got into a better position. So the mobility on both the guns is pretty similar, and you don't think you'll notice a difference. So then it comes to the long range gunfights, and I personally would prefer to use the Amax in a long range gunfight than the AUG, just because of the fact, again, I like how easily I can control the recoil. I like how much of a beam it is for me. But the AUG is actually really good at distance. It is a very good gun at distance because it's very easy to recenter, like I said. So again, it sort of comes down to how well you're going to be able to control the recoil on the Amax. Overall though, I'm probably leaning towards the Amax. If I was playing in a competitive scene, if I was playing in a tournament tonight, I'd pull out the Amax over the AUG, because for me, it's just a better gun. I do better with it. I can do more damage with it, and the body shots, which I seem to hit more than I do hit headshots in this game, are going to be more valuable, because it does have that better time to kill and that better damage to the chest shots. So that's why I prefer the Amax. I think if you're someone that can bang consistent headshots with a burst gun, go ahead and use the AUG. It's going to take people out the game ridiculously fast. You'll see some clips in this where I'm talking now where I do get headshots with the AUG and it just absolutely eliminates people. So you can see just where the AUG does better as opposed to the Amax. And the Amax, again, in their mid-range to long-range gunfights, I prefer it because I'm hitting a lot more chest shots, because it's harder to hit headshots at distance. So the Amax is going to take them out of the game faster. But again, if you do want to try the AUG out, which it is probably the most used gun in the game at the moment, I see everyone seem to be using the AUG, and I do enjoy the AUG, don't get me wrong, they're both brilliant guns in the game. I'm just saying, if I was to play competitively tonight, if someone was like, right, we're playing a 2v2 kill race, what gun are you using? I'm going to pull out the Amax FFAR over the AUG FFAR. So maybe you guys want to try it out for yourself. I, again, think that the Amax is better, but statistically, the AUG is a better gun within Warzone from stock anyway. So this is actually going to be where I end the video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, smash thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts on the guns in the comments below. Which one do you prefer to use? Hopefully you enjoyed this type of video. It's not something I've really done too much, broken down gun stats and stuff like that. So if you want to see more of it comparing to other guns, let me know that in the comments below as well. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, road to 10k subs. If you can hit that, that'd be absolutely amazing. If you want to check me out on Twitch and watch me get on my clips and gameplay live, twitch.tv/Harry17p. Link will be in the description along with all my social medias. Appreciate watching till the end. We'll catch you next one in a bit. Peace.